What's up, guys and gals? It's your host of the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys the latest chapter review for Kengan Omega. Kengan Omega chapter 233, entitled Everlasting Peace. And we'll talk about why this chapter is titled Everlasting Peace in just a moment. But first, I want to apologize for the lateness of the review. As you guys can tell, a few things have changed around here a little bit, and that's because I managed to find a bunch of free furniture, a bunch of brand, and it's quite nice, as you guys can tell. It's quite nice furniture and stuff, and so it took me all week basically to take out the old and in with the new, that kind of idea, because I was doing it all myself and stuff, you know, after work, and the computer was just down for 4 or 5 days. That's all, you know, because all that stuff, you know, didn't want anything to get damaged while I had to, you know, take each piece in and build it up here. So pretty much that's the reason for the delay in the review. But I said, all right, it's Saturday, it's time, because I finally finished Friday night, really late Friday night, and I said, okay, it's Saturday. It's time to catch up on some reviews. And what review should I do first? I said, well, obviously, Kengan Omega was the first one on the list, and there's a reason for that. And as I said, we're going to talk about the chapter title, Everlasting Peace. Yep, it was shown right here in this chapter. Everlasting Peace is so simple, so simplistic in its wonderful form. Toga's ass. There, we solved what, in fact, we didn't just solve world peace, everlasting peace. It also solves world hunger. That's the power. One cheek for each problem that the world has. And boom, world hunger for the right and everlasting peace for the left into one glorious. You know, the only problem with this chapter is that wasn't a double page spread. Toga, Shark Woman, one of my favorite characters. You know, too much. We've been too long without our lovely shark lady. And if you're going to bring her back into the story for just one panel, I mean, yep, that's an ass that solves world problems. I'm telling you. And anybody who thinks otherwise, because seriously, everyone thinks politics, religion, all these things makes the world go round. No. Sex makes the world go round, ladies and gentlemen. That's a fact. It will always be a fact. Why? Because men exist. So, the fact of the matter is that ass, oh hell yeah. Oh hell yes. Plus, just a caveat, the cherry on top, if you will, is that Shark Lady Toga doesn't just have, like, god damn, but also she employs Mutaba, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who makes even porn stars feel inadequate in the bedroom. So, I mean, there's nothing not to love about this lady. And even now, when the worm jumps in, and yeah, they're playing some Clone Wars shit, whatever. They're doing that. Apparently, Death Dealers and stuff. It's Palpatine and all over again. I saw this shit 20 years ago, okay? It's basically, the worm started the Clone Wars so that the Empire could do its thing, you know. It's the worm versus the Death Dealers. It's Stormtroopers and Jedi. It's the same shit, except the difference is the worm's playing both sides of the coin. I didn't actually see this one coming. Out of all the theories I made, and by the way, everyone in the comments for last week and stuff, when I was bringing up all the possibilities of what Luahan could be and how it's this, that, and the other thing, and everyone's like, nope. Like, everyone's just completely, like, set on their ideas. Just want to point out, like, 90% of you were wrong, too. So, just saying that, like, so many people were like, no, like, there's no theory. Like, everyone acted as though there's no theory behind, like, as though we have a Wikipedia page telling us everything about Luhan, and it's like, no, it's already confirmed. He's this ABCD. I'm like, no, we actually know fuck all about him. Okay, so, like, everyone can theorize, but everyone was acting like their idea or their theory was the facts. No one was speaking in theory tones last week. It was weird. I was like, did I miss a page? Because a lot of people had the same opinion or theory, and it was all stated as fact in like quite a few comments. So it was quite weird, honestly. But either way, I was wrong too, though. I had like 4 or 5 theories at the end of last week. I was wrong too. So Luhan is the Luhan from the worm that, Yan was talking about and stuff like that. And I don't think anybody called him just showing up and be like, hello everyone, by the way, I'm the head of the worm. I did not see that coming. We still have question mark for the bodyguard. Clearly, it's Giovanni's son, because question mark. Pokemon reference for anybody who doesn't get it. But yeah, so the bodyguard, Yan shows up, blah, 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 and they're like, I'm the head of the worm. They explain that they're basically pulling the Clone Wars, and yeah, and then they're like, so, by the way, we are causing the Clone Wars, and we're going to execute Order 66 unless you give us Tokita Oma and Ryuki. Unless you give us Oma and Ryuki. We want them. Now, a lot of people say it once again. We're going into theory territory. Alright? Not fact, people. Theory territory. As I said, the last couple of weeks, everyone's been stating their opinion as fact. It's quite weird. Even I don't do that. And I'm, as you guys know, I'm not exactly passive in my opinions. So, either way, fact of the matter is that what is going to happen? They're obviously not going to give Oma up. But will they? And could it be a scheme? Like, there's potential here. There's a lot of potential. I like this chapter. Well, obviously, it's a 10 out of 10 chapter because Toga's... Actually, that's rude. That's rude. 11 out of 10 chapter because Toga's ass. But, yeah, because Togo's ass was like, yeah, it was the... I'm sorry, I just got to keep harping about that because it's so damn good. But, yeah, so... The worm's pulling their stunt. Luhan is involved. He's the head of the Death Dealers, but they're still technically the worm. They want the clones. We don't know why. I'm curious to find him out. I'm hoping the next couple of chapters will explain even more. We'll get more into the lore because he says he's a clone of the Connector. But does he mean Shen? Or does he mean the previous Connector? We still don't have an answer to that. So, because he never says, I'm a clone of Shen Wulong. He says, I'm a clone of the Connector, as you can all tell. He keeps saying he's a clone of the Connector. Well, Shen isn't just the Connector. There's other Connectors, before him. So, is he a clone? We still don't have the answers. Is he a clone of Shen? Or is he a clone of the original? Like, there's still possibilities here. And by looking at him, I would argue that whatever he came from, that's what Oma came from. Now, I doubt that Oma is a clone of this guy, but maybe that's possible because now we can't tell by age anymore because of super breathing. Apparently, you can live to be like 900 years old if you just don't breathe. Go figure, right? So we can't tell by age how old these connectors are. We can't tell by age, by appearance, how long they've been around, etc., etc. So there's no way to actually know this, right? So there's plenty of theorizing going on. Now, a couple of people that I saw after I read the chapter and throughout this week, people were saying this could start, and I wish this was the case, but I doubt it because the real tournament with only 8 people in it is happening to decide who's the strongest. Yeah, whatever. I still don't really care that much about that tournament. I mean, it might be hype. I'm sure some of the fights would be cool, but I really don't care with only 8 characters. There's too many good characters to only have an 8-person tournament. I'm sorry. It just... I don't get that. But either way, with the real tournament, a lot of people were saying that, oh, well, maybe they'll be like, well, Oma's gonna, like, fine, we as the Kengan, because they want to join the Kengan Association, all this stuff, and then a lot of people are saying, okay, Nogi's gonna agree to have a tournament. If you win the tournament, you can have Oma and Ryuki. A lot of people, not a bad theory. And I'd like it to be true, and it still could be, but the chances that we're gonna have the real tournament and that, like, happening at the same time, just... that feels weird. Why introduce the real tournament if you're just going to introduce another tournament 4 chapters later? And no one cares about the real tournament realistically that much right now. Plus, unless they're going to envelop, there's another potential where they decide to go, okay, what we're actually going to do is we're going to take the real tournament. We'll have Oma enter, and you can enter somebody. You've already entered somebody. Whoever wins the real champion tournament can decide, right? They're going to bet it on the real tournament. That kind of bothers me too because there's not enough fish. There's not enough fish in that sea. You know what I mean? Like, I don't just want to watch eight fighters. I want to see like 32 damn fighters. You know, there's just So I mean, I'm still looking forward to what exactly is going to happen. They've made their demands and they've said, here's our limitations. Like, no matter how powerful we are, and we've grown into this giant fish, there's always a bigger fish. There's always this massive one. It's called a country. So we can only go as far as we can. And this is all for the sake of world harmony. Now, what does that mean? Is I assume right now that what they're going to explain by the whole that the worm's goal is world harmony and all this stuff is holding back the connector. Basically, if the worm fails, the connector just gets let loose on the world and we have anarchy is, I guess, the threat or the idea. Number two is that world harmony, to them, their idea of that is that war and famine and all the bad things, that has to continue sort of idea. Sort of like Liam Neeson's in Batman Begins sort of idea. It's like every time an empire gets too big or any time unity seems to happen, we step in to tear it back down again so that the equilibrium stays. So the status quo, their idea is that the world isn't broken, that the status quo is the correct, is harmony in its own sense, in its own chaotic way. It is already world harmony, and we are here to make sure that that doesn't change, that the status quo remains. So maybe that's their idea. We don't know what he meant by world harmony. It was even in quotations when Yan said it. So yeah, there was some stuff, there was some interesting stuff here. I actually don't mind the lore because now things are finally being answered. Rather than just more worm tomfoolery, we're getting actual answers. We're getting results. So I'm here for it, and I hope that next week that we get even more information, like a more heavy lore chapter like this one. I like chapters where we just get the people in the room and they start explaining. So now chapter 234 cannot be nearly as good because I doubt we're going to get another great shot of Togo's ass. If we do, it might surpass this chapter. But I think so far this is got to be considered in the top 5 chapters of Kengan Omega, just based on that merit alone. So that being said, I think I covered everything. But yeah, so the worm and the Death Dealer thing is literally the Clone Wars, and they're holding Order 66 over the Kengan Association's head unless you meet our demands, right? Because it's the worm playing the worm. It's Palpatine playing Palpatine, right? We've all seen the memes. The chess players playing the thing. Yeah, it's Star Wars. The worm is basically stealing from Star Wars. They sat down, they watched a Star Wars marathon and said, holy fuck, why don't we pull that shit off? Look, I mean, he ruled the universe for like 40 years. I mean, yeah, he died in the end, but I mean, he accomplished a lot in 40 years. You know what I'm saying? So, either way, he conquered and he ruled the galaxy and stuff like that for 4 decades. I mean, that's enough, right? That's enough. So the worm's sitting back like, holy fuck, why don't we pull that shit off? So, and I could totally see Shen sitting down and be like, well, I'm watching Star Wars right now, man. I can see my main man Jack and being like, all right, I'm going to grab a beer. I'm going to sit down and watch these Star Wars movies everyone's so hyped up about and to just get totally engrossed in Star Wars. I can 100% see it. And you know for a fact, he is not a Last Jedi fan. Jackie is too good to be a Last Jedi fan. He obviously believes original trilogy is the best. Prequel trilogy is just, it was way better at the time than people gave it credit for, and the only real good sequel is Force Awakens, realistically. The other 2 movies are not very good. I'm going to go out on that limb, but he hates The Last Jedi with a passion. He hates The Last Jedi with a passion. I know Jackie. You guys don't know Jackie. I know Jackie. So, either way, yeah, I think I covered everything regardless. So that's the review. It's been a while since I had to go on camera. I'm all nervous, but either way, what did you guys think of the chapter? Let me know down in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as always, and we will see you beautiful people back here once again for some more Kengan Omega. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. See you back here next time. Bye-bye.